let's you write the script for one time, right? Why can't you run multiple times, right? Java works on a slogan called Aura, write once, run anywhere. That's why my main recommendation is whenever you're learning something, try to learn with example.
What would be their thought process in that point of time so that they can aspire to become a software tester? Hey, hi everyone, welcome to Musical Engineer. So today we have Vishwa with me, and he's an experienced software tester and has a lots of experience into this domain. And this is my first podcast ever I'm shooting with him, and I've got a perfect guy to introduce to all of you so that he can share his knowledge, he can share his experience, how he has started from his ground level and has gone into a very good position and now working as a senior tester there, and also doing lots of roles out there. So you just introduce yourself, Vishwa.
First of all, welcome Subham. I keep on watching your channel. You are doing a really great job. So first of all, congratulations to your channel. You're doing. Please keep on doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I just started my career as intern. Coming to my journey so far, so I can say overall my journey is good so far, and I hope I'm still a learner. I am learning and I love to implement. So it's not about only learning the things. So whenever you are learning something, please you try to implement that.
Exactly. And please tell the audience that how you have started from the ground level, where you have started your career, and how you have come to Bangalore and explored this area, how you thought that you want to explore this domain and started your career, and till now whatever you have done, share a little bit of that.
Sure, sure. So I started my career as an intern when I came to Bangalore. Bangalore is always a magical city, right? Where always people come with a hope, and definitely they are getting their dream achieved, like, when the time comes. But one thing is always I suggest and recommend it to freshers that keep patience, right?
Definitely.
So it's not like in a night you will be famous, or in a night you will be achieve everything. The thing is, please keep on doing whatever you are interested in, right? So that only you'll, like, if you want to reach to that level, set a goal and please keep on riding that path, right? So coming to my journey, I started my career as an intern with a small company. From there, I learned the things. So especially when it comes to automation, I was not knowing about automation, to be honest. So I just gained the experience on the performance testing initially. So I started from there. Like I um taken that as a opportunity. Keep on practicing on the performance testing, how the load testing has been doing, how people are always telling that my server is crashing. So when I listened that word, right, it was like hitting to my mind. Why people are saying server is crashed? Like, are we not having enough server, right? Or what actually is happening, which is really creating a chaos in the people. That server is crashing. There are a lot of loads are coming. So that make me interesting to learn more on the performance side.
Wonderful.
Okay, so I took that as opportunity and I worked on it. I learned performance testing using JMeter because JMeter is open source.
Yeah.
So always we can implement whatever we want. Later on, I learned Gatling. Then my focus is moved to complete Selenium, right?
Okay.
Automation.
Where exactly you thought that from performance testing you want to do some automation, web application testing?
Right. So initially the idea was something like this. So one guy was keep on doing the same thing. One day he came to me and he just told me that Vishwa, every day when the build is coming to me, I used to do a sanity check.
Okay.
So I just asked what do you do in general in sanity test? Because in a manual testing side, definitely you must be doing some smoke testing and sanity testing, right? So his answer will be like he's logging into a machine. He's keep on writing some username and password and entering button, and then verifying few things. which he does on each and every build which is coming to him. Then I told, okay, you are doing some repetitive tasks, right?
Exactly.
So why can't we think something like which can be automated? Instead of you doing that, let's you write the script for one time, right? Why can't you run multiple times, right? Because the same thought I learned from Java.
Okay.
Java works on a slogan called Ora, write once, run anywhere, right? So you write only once, you compile your code only once, you can run an animation. So why can't we do something like write a script single time,
And use multiple
use
times.
multiple times,
Exactly.
right? And that can be helpful for you, even save you time.
Exactly.
You can deliver a build in a very faster way to a developer. You can certify a build in a very faster way, because the in nowadays, if you see, previously it was a waterfall model,
Yeah.
but now complete is agile,
Agile.
right? So when agile come into the market, people are want their product in a very faster way. The stockholders, the product team, the client, they are not waiting until you complete the all the requirements and deliver the product.
So like for the audience, I just want you to just give a brief like difference between this waterfall model and this agile model. So like what is the basic difference? Can you just
Right.
tell about it?
So what happens previously, the waterfall model was there. So in that time, what was happening? QA has to wait a complete. The dev has to finish the thing.
Exactly.
Right. So until it is something like there is no parallel task going on. So you have to top to bottom. Top you deliver the getting the requirement, then start the development, then the before development ready for the design.
Exactly.
Then once your development is done, then QA is
At
waiting.
last,
At
the
last.
QA is to come.
QA is to come.
Correct.
So why QA has to wait this much of time? Once the QA is done, then you test it, then you deliver the product to a client.
Exactly.
So it's the most time taking process, right?
And also in the middle of that, if any requirement changes, so that will also bring about lots of like problems.
Definitely. So what happens? You deliver the product to the client, and the client is now telling, hey, I don't want this, and my expectations was not in this way. I was like looking for this, something like this, and now there is no way that you go and start the process from scratch.
Correct.
Right? So this was a disadvantage I have seen in waterfall model. Correct? Due to this, to avoid this, Agile came into the market. So Agile works on a what? Deliver the product in a very faster way. So it's a step-by-step process. So what it does is everybody is working on a team. Everybody doing their task. So there is a keep on lack of communication gap. That is what I have explained in my channel when I have seen the Agile. I recommended.
So Vishwa has his own YouTube channel also. So Vishwa, can you just tell a little bit about your channel, what you do
Yes.
there, and your channel name, so that everybody can also subscribe to your channel.
Sure. There is a channel called Automation Pathshala, so where I posted a video on Agile. So the people who, especially for the freshers, even for experienced people, you can go and watch that channel. So you'll come to learn so many things. What actually in the real world we do Agile, right? When somebody tell about Agile, what it is. Please go through that. It will help you a lot. Okay?
So please go and subscribe to Vishwa's channel,
Automation
Pathshala, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also like this video, and also drop your comments, like whatever the like inputs you will be getting from this entire video and what you will be learning from him. So do share your views on the comment box.
Thank you. So this is how Agile came into the market, and people are started using it in a vigorous way because due to these many advantages, right? So that is the main difference between I can see the difference Waterfall and Agile. So then I started off learning more deep dive into what is automation, what actually UI automation is. So once I started the UI automation, there are a lot of challenges that we face. It's not like somebody is telling you automation means there won't be any challenge. Simply writing the script. That is also not an easy way, right? Because there are a lot of challenges that we are facing. For example, authentication window. Any SSO login is coming.
Correct.
Nowadays. How will you automate that? Because until unless the OTP is not verified, and OTP is something that which is more secure, which is coming to your mobile or to your desktop or something like that. You must be having some authenticator. From there, you need to have that validation you have to do.
Correct.
So these many are the challenges that definitely we have to face. And when I come to the desktop application, right? Because everybody was telling about Selenium.
Correct.
I agree with that, But what happens when somebody will give you an extra application to automate, right?
So there the limitation comes.
Then limitation comes. So I faced that issue when I joined, when I was working for RP based project called Company Automation Anywhere. It's my previous company.
Okay.
So where I got a chance to automate a desktop application.
So can you just tell me like what Automation Anywhere used to do? I mean like, and like its competitor and how you came to know about that company and you joined that company.
Yeah. So Automation Anywhere is mostly working in RP based company. It's a robotic process automation. RP is something. It's like a project automation, not a. It's a process automation.
Yeah.
Because nowadays we are doing project automation, right? Everybody is doing project automation. But what is this process automation? Let's say starting from a HR. HR is screening your resume and then sending to your manager for approval. Then again, call is scheduled with you, interview is scheduled. So all this process, right? We can automate with the help of RP, the tool. So Automation Anywhere is a tool which is having all this facility to automate yourself.
Okay.
Okay. So that is something more interesting, which attracted, even though I was having a lot of offers at that time when I joined Automation Anywhere. But what is really sticking into my mind was, see, I have worked on multiple domains: healthcare, retailer, banking, native apps. So I have worked on this kind of domain. But what is something that new you can learn, right? Your mindset is always something where you can explore something, right? You'll get a more opportunity. So then RP came into mind. Yeah, RP is something that really I have not worked. So why can't you grab that opportunity and let's learn and keep it in your resume? It will be increasing your weightage.
Exactly.
Right?
Definitely.
So then I grabbed that opportunity, even though I was having a good banking fintech opportunity at that time, but I cracked this.
So how you come to know about this final, like the company which you're working on now? So like, can you just little bit tell about what was your target plan, like how you were actually grooming your career, and also like our audience, there are lots of testers who are aspiring to be in this position, also preparing for different product based companies. So how actually like what are the things they should keep in their mind while the process of this preparation? So can you just tell a little bit about that?
Sure. So what happens when today's market somebody is telling about QA? So I think it's my personal opinion that there is no QA terms nowadays. The thing has been changed to SDET, Software Developer Engineer in Test. It means along with SDE, there is one more character has been introduced called T, SDET, right? It means you are developing along with your testing. So you are doing both the things. You are developing at the same time you are testing your code also, right? At the same time you are testing your application also.
So I mean like what is the basic difference between a software developer and an SDET?
Yes, that's what I just mentioned. The T, when the T has been added, right? So software developer, no doubt they are developing their features, they are writing their unit test cases, which is testing their features. But what SDET does, you are writing the code to test all the developers' features code.
Okay.
So you are writing the entire code to test it, to test the functionalities. Here at the same time you are writing also unit test case to test your particular wrapper methods, right? So you are at the same time you are doing the manual testing also. So I can say you are doing both the things. You are working as a developer, you are working as a tester.
Okay.
Right? So that is an advantage always. So you are doing all the things what a developer does, but developer is not of that developing your features. You are doing what the features has been developed. You are just testing that with the help of your script. That's why the terminology came, that is SD.
So I hope that clears the basic difference between a software development engineer and an SDET. So thank you, Vishwa, for explaining that. And as I was asking you what are the inputs for the aspiring software testers who are actually just come out of their college, okay, and they are feeds lot of information about different technologies, different tools and all. So like how a college grad should aspire to become a software tester, and what should be their thought process to become a software tester and start their journey in this career?
That's a very nice question, June. So when it comes to my thinking, so what happens, I'll always recommend it any freshers or who are passed out from college. What are they doing? Like somebody is by something, right? Let's say whenever I ask something like why Java is platform independent, or for example, why Java doesn't support multiple inheritance, or if I ask what is method overloading, right? So people is always by something like, okay, method is having same name with a different argument. Is method overloading? If I just trick that question, right? If I give something like I'll create a class, I'll provide the same method having different argument. If I ask, can you tell me what are the things that I'm doing it here? What is this design pattern is for? Right? See, question is same, but I modified it, right?
Exactly.
So in that time, they are not understanding what that method does, right? But that is nothing but overloading. So when I say A, for example, is Subham, right? So Subham is doing musical engineering channel. Subham is doing personal work. Subham is working on a CJ company, and Subham is doing his parents' responsibility also. He is handling. So Subham is the one person who is overloaded with all these tasks. So,
Wonderful.
so in that case,
Overloaded.
it's overloaded. Ruby is
Exactly.
overloaded. The same thing is happening in Java, right? A method is having same name. Somebody is passing your integer as argument. You're passing float as argument. You're passing double as argument. You are overloading a same method with different arguments. When you learn in that way, you don't have to by heart the thing. Things will come automatically to your mind. And the same thing, whenever you're delivering an interview, automatically that will come into mind, right? So when that's the same example I was giving a runtime polymorphism, right?
Yeah.
So even I wanted to say that also. When I was asking somebody to what is runtime polymorphism, immediately the answer is coming from the candidate is method overloading. It's method overriding. Method overriding is runtime polymorphism. So if I ask something, what is method overriding? Then can you tell me what is if I ask method overriding? Can you tell me it is nothing but runtime polymorphism? Can you say no, right? Because both has different mechanism. You can achieve runtime polymorphism through method overriding,
Exactly.
right? So what happens in the runtime? The method resolution happens at runtime based on the object you created at runtime. That determines your runtime polymorphism, and which can be achieved through method overriding, right?
Yeah.
So I am expecting that kind of answer. But what happens? Candidate is simply by-hearting things, right? So there I can see the problem, especially. That's why my main recommendation is whenever you're learning something, try to learn with an example, right? And don't try to by-heart something. Let's rather you just keep on practicing something, right?
So I mean, like Vishwa has a lot of tricks and the way of studying, way of grasping any of the concepts should be done in this way. I genuinely feel that by hearing anything will not actually give any result, because you have to understand it so that you don't have to by heard again and again. So you understand the process. The way he has explained this method overloading. I mean, like, I am Shubham, I am doing lots of tasks. So one person is doing lots of tasks,
You are overloaded.
right? I'm overloaded with lots of tasks. So in the same way, when a method is the having the same name and overloaded with different arguments,
Right.
so that is what method overloading. So what excellent way, like what can be the best example of learning any concept, and you will never forget that.
Exactly. So once you get that spike, right?
Correct.
So you no need to again by heart something.
Exactly.
So automatically that will come to your mind. Let the interviewer do whatever the trick he wants.
Yeah.
Right? Let the interviewer trick you, and he might ask you so many questions. Let it be. If you are thorough with your answer, you can able to deliver an answer.
And Vishwa, coming back to that same question, I mean, like, when a fresher just comes out of the college, he is, so confused. I have talked to many students, and whenever I interact with the grads, they are confused, like whether they want to choose this career path or that career path, and they are so confused in that. Because I personally observe a lot of things. I mean, like, we are taught a lot of technologies, different programming languages, different suppose for database we use SQL, that we learn, but the student actually doesn't know where actually to implement that. I mean, like, they don't have any idea. Suppose if they choose a particular career path, where will that actually be implementing in real life?
Right.
So if they want to, suppose if they're expert in any of the technology, they can build that career into that path. Suppose if somebody is very much expert into SQL, he knows all the commands and how actually it works internally. Like if he has built some small project, create right from creating table, schema, and also like playing with different commands, playing with different query languages. If he does that, he can become a database admin. But nobody comes and tell him that if you become an expert of in one technology only, you have very good options for you. So in a similar way, I just wanted to ask you, like for the sake of all the aspiring testers and also the experienced testers, like what should be their bend of mind that if they know, like we are filled with so many technologies, we get confused. Even now,
Right.
I mean, like we also get confused. Those who are experienced, they also get confused, like what to learn and what not to learn.
Right.
So what would be their thought process in that point of time so that they can aspire to become a software tester? Suppose somebody wanted to become a developer, but they somehow got the testing role.
Right.
So what would be their motivation to pursue this career as well?
Right. So there are two questions here you asked me. It's something like if let's say as a fresher, even whenever you either people will be passing out from college, so they might be placed in the college itself, right? Or the second thing is they are coming and trying this off campus. Right? So for fresher, there won't be any choice.
Correct.
There won't be any choice of the technology because once you are experienced, then you know that okay, I want to move to this direction because you have really worked on that particular thing, right? But for fresher, no, they have to learn things. They have to learn not only single technology. For example, as you mentioned, SQL. Not only SQL, right? For freshers, they have to learn SQL, DHL, right? And if they wanted to learn programming language along with not only one, even another. For example, if they are learning Java, Python is also good. It's an add-on, right? So for fresher, learn this because nowadays even the freshers are learning a lot, right? If you see, people are coming from fresher background, they're learning so many things, but I never know where to deploy that. So I'll take a test whenever they'll come to a company, right? Company people will decide where, based on your skill, they can deploy in somewhere. And if somebody is putting in a testing, right? Don't think that you are in a different domain, right? Because testing itself has a lot to do, right? You are learning at the same time. You are implementing the things. You are working as a developer. You are writing the code. You are learning Java. Even you are implementing design pattern. You're developing a framework in future, correct? The way like nowadays we are like how we are developing framework, right? So there are a lot of things. So you just don't have to think that okay, there is only one line that I have to go, or as a fresher, if I'm getting testing, then there also you can grow. If you're deploying in a development profile, there also you can grow. But one thing is consistent, that is you have to learn a new skill. You have to keep on learning because every day is a learning, right?
Correct.
For example, if I say Java, so for freshers, what are the roadmaps, right? So they can start with the basic features of Java, right? Initially, they can learn about like the data variables concept, right? How the local variable is working, how the global variable is working. Then they can learn about the exception handling, right? Then they can learn about the operators. They can learn about the strings and array concepts. Then the collection.
Correct.
So collection is the final one. Okay, that is something they have to roadmap in that way. Because what happens, as an interviewer, every interview, the mindset will be something like this. First, they wanted to know something about you, what you have really done. That is only for 5 to 10 minutes to know about you, right? If they are really interested, they can go through your project work. But if their main intention is they have some set of questions. They have to ask this, even though you tell something about yourself, whatever you have achieved, but still they have some set of questions. They must have to ask this, and based on that, they have to judge, right?
Correct.
Even though you achieved everything, right? But I don't care. I am an interviewer. My mindset is that I have to ask this many questions because I am hiring for you. You have to work for my company, for my project. So you must be knowing all these things. Then only I can hire you, right?
Correct.
So he must be asking immediately. He'll move to okay. So definitely you must be good in programming language. Are you preferring any programming language? Do you know? As an interview, as a candidate, you must be say either Java or Python, right?
Exactly.
Anyone is okay for me, right? Nowadays, people are asking Java with Selenium or Java with Python. Hey, what does it matter, man? It doesn't matter, right? If you go with Java, if you learn Java, you can Python is syntax change.
Correct.
Logic is same.
Logic is same.
Automation process is same. Just you're changing the syntax. So what is big deal here, right? If you know Java, you can work on Python, Ruby, whatever it may be.
Correct.
So the next the interviewer's thinking will be, okay, if you know Java, if you tell Java, he'll ask definitely one question related to string and array. Okay, for freshers I'm telling.
Yeah.
Definitely they'll ask you string and array. Make sure that you must be doing either from lead code, like whatever the platform.
There are lots of platforms that people can
now they can go and practice. But you must be good on strings and arrays concept. Most of the time they'll ask you from this. Okay. Once you're good, then they might be checking your theoretical knowledge. Okay? Differential finally finalized. Can I write try inside try? Okay. Can I write multiple try and multiple catch block? Right? What is the use of finalize? That tell me a solution where finalize won't execute.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are some questions. What is string pooling? Right? What are the a string constant pool and string non-constant pool? So why string is immutable? Right? What are the design patterns? Single. Can you explain something about single tone design pattern? These are some theoretical questions that you must be prepared before going to any Java interviews. Right? And coming to the collection. Collection hardly we say like least and set concepts. What is the difference between least, set, least? Then what is string set, sorted set? So these are some advanced level that people can refer in practice. That is mostly on the Java side.
Yeah.
Once
so now that is done. So like what else they can prepare?
Yes. Once that is done, once you are thinking Java is done, now the next thing is you must be on automation Selenium. Then come to the next part, automation Selenium.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy is good in Java, I know, but now let's test on the automation side. They'll be giving you some scenarios. Can you automate this feature, right? Can you, there will be some website where you have to extract some data, right? So there they must be checking you that whenever you are extracting the data, right? There is a method is there available in Selenium.
Correct.
But whenever you are extracting the data, where you are storing, is this guy is able to apply that logic, right? Either he can store in list or he can store in set. But whatever it may be, can he able to store it? Can he able to write that syntax? And can he able to iterate that list and display?
Correct.
Right? That kind of logic as an interviewer I must be thinking.
Yeah.
Correct? There is one more concept is also there, where there will be a mapping kind of thing. For example, student with a name. For example, student with a code. There is a Subham with 31, Vishwa with 32. There is a website is like this. I just have to print that and I have to get it.
Correct.
Okay, I have to get and print. So what is the logic here? There is a key and value. Key value. Immediately my mind is coming to map. Right? Map is storing key and value. So I can use map and I can display the thing, right?
Like I mean, like it depends scenario, like what you're testing,
right?
And what you need to actually, like print or something. Like what operation you need to do.
It depends on because what happens also, people knows the things, but they don't know where to implement and how to implement, right? If I directly ask to a candidate, what is map? No, suddenly, map is storing the key value place. I'm okay with the answer, but same question I'll ask in a scenario way. Now here I'm checking whether he can able to store it in a map. There the implementation is important, right? There I can know that okay, this guy knows about map. It's not theoretically, he knows about what practically, right? So these are the certain things as an interviewer our mindset will be whenever we are hiring any candidate, when it's a fresher or when it's a 2 to 5 years of candidate.
So basically you were saying that like in spite of knowing the things theoretically, understanding them, they should also be able to like try to showcase in a scenario based question, like whether they are able to implement that or not.
Yes.
When a scenario is actually shown at them, and like whether they are able to implement that logic out there or not.
Right. It's because it's not simply theoretical knowledge, right? Everybody is having that. Even you can learn, somebody can buy it. because nowadays freshers are, they are very, very smart enough. They must be, by having some questions, they're telling, okay, these many questions they're asking, just by heart that and keep on telling in the interview. No, you must have to know how to implement and where to implement. That should be the focus. And even though if I ask you something about sorting or something, you must be know how to write the logic. I cannot expect you that you must be writing in 100% expectation. There is no way that somebody is very good in coding, right?
Yeah.
But at least approach wise, you can able to tell me some approach, tell me some pseudocode. In that way, I can judge, okay, this guy can analyze the thing, right? So these are the certain ways that somebody is really looking for, right? And apart from that, there's one more thing, because most of the people will be, most of the people will be telling to me that, Vishwa, whenever we are giving an interview, we are clearing the technical rounds. When it comes to managerial round, we are getting rejected.
Yeah.
Right? So even they don't know why they are rejected. So they must have to know that why they are rejected, right? Because as a manager, my main thinking will be, I have to know how analytical you are, how good you are in the analytical thinking, right? So let's say I'll check your mind and thinking power, for example. So what I do, I'll always check for the approach. For example, there is a question which is frequently asked in the interview for the manager. They must be telling you about, tell me a situation, okay, where you faced this and you told to a developer that there is something that needs improvement, please work on it, and developer has listened to your word, he has fixed it, and ultimately it really improves to your productivity of your organization, right? Tell me a such situation like that. The fresher is completely blank, right? Or even the experienced candidate is blank in that
Correct.
case, right? So you must be practicing on those questions. Or see, as a fresher, you must not be working in a company, so you cannot tolerate this question. But you can tell some approach. There might be some asking you like this.
Exactly.
Hey, let's say tomorrow is the deadline, right? You're a fresher. There's no experienced candidate in my chamber. Let's say somebody went for a leave, and you are the fresher. Now you have to deliver, right? Tomorrow is the release. You have some certain set of test cases.
Right.
So now I'm hiring you, and this is the condition. How will you, handle this, right? So you cannot complain.
Correct.
The experienced candidate is not there. It's a big responsibility. I cannot take that. So in that way, how you are, giving your answer, how you are representing yourself, that matters a lot. That really determines how good you are in your thinking, and based on that, you can be judged, or you can be rejected.
Yes.
So make
And
sure
how he accepts that challenge, and like in that moment, what actually he tries to do, so that you can like at least show some inputs into that.
exactly
Right.
that determines how good you are and how whether I can hire you or I can reject you.
Definitely.
This is something as a fresher, as a interviewer, you as a experienced candidate, you must have to work on these skills. Apart from development, apart from Java learning, apart from Selenium, that is fine. But these are called behavioral questions. So you must be very good on these skills. So if you're not, try to improve these areas. That is one advice.
So I mean, like not only restricted to freshers, but also the experienced
Yes.
people who have got some experience into the software testing, either it is into manual testing or automation testing or both.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so they both they should also focus on these areas, as you say, right?
Definitely. So that's what, like, whenever you are having free time, nobody, I know that everybody is working, everybody is busy in their own life, they are working hard, right?
Correct.
But still, you keep 1 hour for yourself every day. Keep on practicing things. Keep on working some code, even though you know something.
Yeah.
But whenever I say, can you write a code for binary search, right? Immediately it should come to your mind that okay, make,
Yes.
I'll write one by then I'll. So those logic will come to your mind,
Correct.
right? So that is something I really wanted to tell to others to do that, because as a person I always do that. So I'll recommend the same to others.
So I hope you all have got lots of inputs from Vishwa, and he has explained a lot of things with you. He has given lots of inputs. Thanks. It was a pleasure doing this podcast with you, and it was my first ever podcast, and I got a perfect guy like you to do this.
My pleasure.
And thanks a lot. Like for coming into this podcast and inviting me to your place so that I can shoot this. And any final, suggestions or advice to our audience and the testers community?
Yeah, I always do believe that when you have patience, things will definitely come into place. So when I say about patience, so during that period, just try to reinnovate yourself. Try to work hard with your skill and try to improve more in your skill. If you Because you are the only person who knows where you are lacking, right?
Exactly.
Nobody knows apart from you.
Correct.
Because I'm not living your life. You know what skills you needed. Because I have seen somebody is very good on DS algo, but they are very poor from the behavioral side. I've seen some people are very good on the behavioral side, but they are very poor on the DS and algo. So based on your lagging area, try to work on it. Yes, you will be, one day the day will come. Everybody has their own day. So your day will also come.
So please keep in mind all these suggestions, and I hope you have learned a lot of things from this podcast. And there are many more to go. Vishwa will be sharing lots of things again into his channel also. And if we get opportunity again, so maybe we will shoot some other videos also for you. So stay tuned, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Musical Engineer, and definitely follow his channel as well. Thank you, Vishwa.
Nice to meet you.
Same to you.
And please keep on doing the way you are doing. Okay?
Exactly.
That's the
So,
best thing that will happen.
guys, please support this and make this viral, and so that it can impact a lot of people, and lots of things you will know about this video. I hope. So, bye bye. Take care.